All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast here in Manchester, UK. Myself, Guy Charnock, and we are coming off what I'm going to put my hands up and say this. It's the greatest sporting comeback ever.
Wow. Above Tiger Woods' 2019 Masters win. Oh, God, no, let's not get that. Come on.
I think it is. This weekend, Anthony Kim did the impossible. We've got loads more to talk about as well, but this is the story we're kicking off with. I'm sure you've seen it if you're on any part of the internet, unless you've lived under a rock. This week, Anthony Kim won LIV Golf Adelaide in front of 115,000 fans. That wasn't just on that one day, but across the whole weekend. He shot an unbelievable 23 under par for the tournament, 9 under par for the final round. And not only did he fend off the whole entire field, on the final day he was paired with John Rahm and Bryson DeChambeau and absolutely destroyed him. I
know we have a podcast lined up where you're excited to talk about a topic when you go straight in.
I couldn't wait.
There was no foreplay. There was not even a handshake.
Often there's not.
It's just straight in, bang.
Genuinely, when it happened, I woke up super early Sunday morning to watch the final bit of him finishing off his round. All I can think of, I can't wait to film a podcast. Because it for me, genuinely, and I know you talked about their 2019 Tiger Woods winning, that was coming back from, obviously, a huge setback, injuries, being able to maybe not walk or even play golf again. I do genuinely feel what Anthony Kim has gone through is not that we should measure these things, a downfall against a downfall, but what Anthony Kim has come back from is quite staggering. He did not play golf for 12 years.
Well,
how do you do that? How do you not play golf for 12 years? And listen, we'll talk about when he first came back and our thoughts and opinions then. I played golf with him last year in Hong Kong. Let's talk about that. And then up until present day. But go on, Guy.
Let me read a little paragraph or two from golf.com from an article written on there that just sets the scene of how long it is since he last won. And it reads this as, in January 2010, Apple chief exec Steve Jobs stepped before a crowded audience and announced the company's latest world-changing innovation, the iPad. 3 months later, the world's first iPad users booted up their devices, connected to the internet, and were greeted with the headline, Anthony Kim has just won the Houston Open. Did those same tech diehards go on Instagram to celebrate this news? Nope. Because the social media giant was still 6 months away from being creation. That's how long it has been since Anthony Kim's last victory in his latest one. 16 years.
It is staggering. I'm going to be honest with you right now. Did I genuinely ever think he would win again? My answer to that is no.
It has to be no.
I did not think he would win a golf tournament again. What he has achieved, and listen, he had 2 years on LIV up until this year. In those 2 years, after the end of 2025, the end of last year, he got relegated out of the league. His performances weren't good enough to stay inside the league. He'd obviously been signed, he did 2 years, and then he was relegated. I think at that moment, from that point, that's the most impressive thing that he's done. Would he have disappeared? Could he have disappeared? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Couldn't he? Mm-hmm. He could disappear. People might have said it's the last we ever see of Anthony Kim. He did 2 years. What a crazy fairy tale story. He did 2 years and he's gone. That's not what he did. He went away, and in the off-season from August up until January this year, and I knew how much he works, and I know how much he practices, and I know how much he wants it. He put in so much work to the point, and he was playing in the international series, he started to put some strings of performances together. He started to show glimpses of what he's capable of. He started shooting 5 and 6 under, etc. And in January this year, he played in the LIV Golf promotions in Florida. The chance to get back onto LIV Golf, only 3 people got back on out of a huge field. He qualified. He got promoted. Wasn't given to him. Wasn't granted. It wasn't a special envelope slid across the table. He had to go out there and perform at the highest level under tremendous pressure, and he has now earned his spot on LIV. before we come on to this year, let's just rewind time a little bit back to 2 years ago, 2023, when he teed it up in Saudi Arabia. 24, sorry, for the first time playing back. Nobody had seen him for 12 years of playing golf. He was rusty, to say the least. He was very, very scrappy. He didn't look like a golfer. He didn't particularly play like an expert professional golfer. To most people, it was, and even we talked about on the podcast, was it a bit of a publicity stunt? Was it kind of a bit of LIV's way of saying, you know, look, we are going to sign these, you know, characters to make the game more exciting, potentially. And through that season of 2024, and like I say, through the season of 2025, there was glimpses of improvement, definite glimpses. But the staggering difference between his ending 2025 and how he started 2026, that to me is the most impressive. I genuinely think it is. He had a fantastic finish in Saudi Arabia, the first event of the season. He finished like tied 20th, his best finish so far on LIV Golf, and he had a couple of really, really, really solid rounds. He starts the week last week, still as a free agent, still as a wild card. Patrick Reed had left the Four Aces, Dustin Johnson's team, and there was only 3 of them. And they had a substitute in for Riyadh, but then they didn't have anyone lined up. I'd heard rumblings and rumours that Anthony Kim was going to sign, and I was so excited for him as an individual. It got announced Wednesday morning that he was going to be now playing for the Four Aces. So he's part of a team, which is something new to him. He's not been part of a team yet. He's been a bit of a lone wolf out on LIV Golf. Like when he practices on his own. He's got him and Grant, his caddy, out there practicing. He's not got a team like the other guys have. The other guys, they practice together. They play together. They have dinner together. They share houses or hotels or whatever it is. There's a real team community. He doesn't have that. He's never had that on LIV Golf so far. When the Four Aces had signed him, and he rocks out, and he looks so different. He looks this year, as he started this year, he looks like a professional golfer again. He looks cool, stylish. He looks like he means business. And that continued on to this event in Adelaide. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, he played phenomenal golf to get him into the final group. Again, when I saw he was drawn up against in that final pairings of him, Bryson and Jon Rahm, and he was he 5 shots back, I think he was, on the final day. Yeah. So he's 5 shots behind Jon Rahm, one of the greatest golfers to touch a golf club in the last 5-6 years. And we all know how incredible Bryson DeChambeau is, and the presence and the power and almost the intimidation factor of both of those two golfers. I spent time with Bryson, spent time with Jon Rahm.
Just to put this into perspective, on Data Golf, which is more accurate, obviously, in the world golf rankings, Jon Rahm is number 2 in the world behind Scotty Scheffler, and Bryson's number 11. So, big fish.
Big fish. And not only in Data Golf rankings or world, but their characters
presence,
are big.
Aura.
They are scary MFs. They are. Jon Rahm has a look of him. You don't want to mess with him. And when they are in competition mode, they are scary. Anthony Kim is teeing off with those two. And I'll be honest, even at that point, and I shouldn't have doubted, even at that point, I was expecting to wake up Sunday morning and one of those two have won.
But you say you shouldn't have doubted. You were correct to doubt, because you said he was 5 shots behind Jon Rahm, who is the second best player on the planet, again, according to Data Golf. Anthony Kim being in that position is a huge win in itself. Finishing top 10 would be an absolutely incredible achievement. Being on the golf course is an incredible achievement here in his story, let's be honest. So you would never in a million years think that Anthony Kim is going to go out and shoot 9 under par, which will come on to his round in a moment, and that Jon Rahm would have a, rather for him, poor 1 under par and Bryson 2 over par. Like, that is absolutely incredible, isn't it?
And I think, again, just before we even come on to that final round, everything he's been through. Like it's mental. It is absolutely crazy. This kid, when he first hit the scene, was the new Tiger Woods. That is literally what he got branded as.
Well, that win that we mentioned earlier on in 2010, just when the iPad had just launched, the Shell Houston Open, he won in a playoff, and at that time he became only the 5th player in 30 years to have won 3 times on the PGA Tour before the age of 25. So that puts him along names such as Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Sergio Garcia and Adam Scott. And then that year, he went on to finish 3rd in the Masters. So that's the kind of level he was at that kind of 2010. He was 25 years old in 2010. He was that level of next big thing.
And not only that, it's the swagger that he had, the fact that he was a Ryder Cup star. He was like, he had the world at his feet. And through injuries, poor decisions, misdirection, he let it all slip. It was gone by the wayside. He obviously had issues with substance abuse. He pretty much lost everything. Mm-hmm. He talked about how he potentially was going to take his own life. Like, it is, the fact he's still walking, is still alive, is a miracle in its own right. He then found Emily, his wife. He had Bella, his daughter. He comes back and has an opportunity to play golf again professionally at a really high standard. And to have all of that weight on your shoulders to some degree, it is weight. You could see it as, is it weight, or is it almost like going out playing golf, do you almost forget any of that? All of that must have been in his brain as he teed up on that first tee on Sunday. It must have been. Like, there's no way it can't be. And he played with such excitement, such electricity, brave and dangerous golf. And he had 9 birdies, no bogeys. He left it 1.5 foot short to shoot to match the course record at 10 under par on the final hole. The crowds were mental. They absolutely loved him because they knew they were seeing history. Mm-hmm. Like, that was history. It reminded me again of scenes when Tiger Woods came back and he won that. He won the end of year tournament.
Yeah, the FedEx
Cup, and he was walking down at East Lake and all the crowd. Like, it reminds me of that, because you only get those scenes when people know it's historic. You only get those scenes where fans, flood the fairways when you know it is genuinely historic. Like, and this was historic. This was unbelievable. And the fact he showed so much emotion, and, you know, when he sunk that winning putt, I love the fact he got the crowd riled up, the fact that Bella, his daughter, came onto the green, things that he'd probably only ever dreamt of. Maybe deep down, I'd love to ask him, did he really, really think that was ever going to happen? Did he honestly believe it? He might say he did. He might say that's what he envisioned all of his life. But to do it in such a way, to end up winning by, was it 3 shots in the end?
Yeah.
It's staggering. It's staggering. I honestly think, and I know there will be a massive argument against Tiger 2019, 100%, and don't get that. That was iconic. That was history, no question. And that's a major. It's the Masters. There's no question. But again, I think if you're measuring everything that he's been through, to come out and win and play so well, and genuinely, who knows where this is going to lead to?
I think for me, like you said at the start, it's hard to quantify them against each other because of the differences in severity of why they weren't playing golf. And as amazing as to win, obviously, a LIV golf event, winning the Masters in a green jacket is different. However, let's put that to one side for a moment. I think where this story really feels almost like a movie or a fairy tale isn't even so much that he won after coming back from not playing golf, because that is massive and that's the huge part of the story. But it's not like he came back and won his first event, or he won after 3 or 4 events. He had 2 years of not great success, and he finished the first year on LIV in 56th place, and then he finished last year in 55th place to get relegated, then go through qualification in the LIV Golf promotions. As he came 3rd, 3 people went up and got on LIV Golf. So I remember, and I think I have to address this, when Anthony Kim signed for LIV Golf, I said on the podcast publicly I thought it was a gimmick, and he obviously pulled us up at that. We did a podcast with him and was somewhat offended by that, which I understand. I never once, and still you can go back and listen to the old podcast, never called him a gimmick, and he's right. It's not his fault if you like the LIV saw an opportunity to create some headlines. And let's be honest, a guy that hasn't played golf for 12 years, not even touched a golf club for 12 years, joining what is, a huge tour, I still think was a bit strange. But let's be honest, credit to him, he grabbed the opportunity with both hands. Clearly didn't just see it as a payday for a couple of years and then bugger off and and go live on a nice life with his family. He obviously had a desire to improve at golf and get back competitive, and not only get back competitive, but I think qualifying for LIV Golf would have been an absolute cherry on top. That would have been just the best thing ever. But to then go out this week and win at what feels like arguably the biggest LIV event, because
it is the biggest, it's the biggest one.
With such a great, you look at that, you've got second place John Rahm, third place Bryson, tied third Tyrrell Hatton, Peter Uihlein, Lucas Herbert, Dean Burmester, Cameron Smith, like serious big names who he's obviously not only beat them, but they've also played well. It's not like they've all had bad weeks and he's just suddenly won. He's had 4 rounds of golf, 5 under, 5 under, 4 under, 9 under.
And that's it. He didn't limp over the line.
Exactly. As a story, as what he's done, genuinely, I woke up to the news, because obviously the time difference was a bit annoying, but I woke up to this and I genuinely couldn't believe it. And you're right, I was thinking, this must be one of the biggest stories ever in golf, regardless of your thoughts of LIV or PGA Tour, whatever. Looking at the bigger picture, a guy who's had, let's be honest, a serious problem with addiction and had these kind of potential suicidal thoughts and stuff, and he's obviously very open about all this, which is great. You look at how he's done that to come back and win, and these guys like Bryson and John Rahm, whatever, they want to win every tournament they play in, don't they? They absolutely want to be the best. No matter what anybody thinks, they genuinely do. For him to go out and beat those guys, his world ranking has shot up from 800 and something to 203rd. He was 847th in the world. Now that LIV top 10 players get world ranking points, he's jumped up to 203rd. So, who knows? A few more performances in the top 10. He breaks into the top 100 in the world, potentially, whatever. It's insane. And, one part of me thinks he could go on and win 3 more times this year, and he might do. But even if he doesn't ever win again, if he never swung a golf club again, what an incredible story.
Almost you just walk out.
Yeah.
Do you almost just go, thanks everyone.
But
that's the end of the movie.
The way my brain works, though, which is a shame because I wish it didn't do, is my second thought after soaking it all up and thinking about it was, this is amazing, but what if? What if he hadn't have had, unfortunately, those 12 years off? Would we be genuinely looking at a generational talent? Because I don't care who you are, whether you're Scotty Scheffler, Rory, I won't put Tiger in this list, but those absolute elite golfers of Brooks Koepka, if any of those had 12 years off the game, would they be able to go and win an event like this? I don't know the answer to that question. I wouldn't want to bet on it because it's just, the game moves on, it evolves. Distance has crept up so much, the way people play the game, the travel he's had to put himself through, all these things. You think, that is some ass to win. This isn't just making a cut. This isn't like making a cut in the Open or doing okay or having a lead and fumbling it. He's absolutely gone out there and shot a 9 under par and dominated, playing with the 2 biggest names on the tour, literally.
Yeah.
It is mad.
It is a movie.
It is.
It's a movie, and the whole script, you couldn't write it. People wouldn't believe you. The fact, I don't know if you saw this, but he almost didn't get into Australia. So from Saudi Arabia, he'd actually forgotten to do his own visa as players, or I'm guessing a lot of players' teams will have done their visa. I had to do my own visa, and a few other guys had to, my team had to do their visas going from Saudi to Australia. He did not do a visa, and he nearly did not get into the country. What bad plot twist is that? And then the week he got signed by a team, the first time he'd been accepted. And when you look at that 18th green, and listen, it honestly took me probably the whole of Sunday to really, really absorb it in. I watched everything. I watched every clip. I've watched every video. I've watched every social media bit. The players' reactions when he stood on that 18th green is really... It's amazing. It's what sports is all about. Like when you're seeing these guys genuinely, they want to beat each other. John Rahm would hole a 6-footer, even if Anthony Kim's daughter was there with tears in her eyes. If it meant John Rahm would win, he'd want to win.
Of course he would.
But to get there, and you've got Rahm and Bryson and Lucas Herbert and Sergio Garcia and Louis Oosthuizen and all these guys coming up to him and literally hugging him, congratulating him. I've never seen that in a professional golf tournament.
Question for you then, right? Genuinely now, when we obviously, you've spent more time than I have clearly, but when we did the podcast with him a year or so ago, kind of off camera, he acknowledged that he's in the clips of us. I think it was more focused at myself, and he'd taken it that I'd called him a gimmick, which again I've explained I didn't. I called the decision from LIV to sign him a bit of a gimmick. Let's put that to bed for now. However, do you think genuinely, I think so much of him, clearly from what the time I spent with him and what I've heard of him on other interviews, it was so happy to be moving forward in his life and out of that horrendous position and had this new chance and obviously had a family and had a future to look forward to. I get that. But also, let's not forget, Anthony Kim, like all these guys on there, and he's proven it this week, is a competitive devil. He wants to go out there and win golf tournaments. When we did, and other people might have questioned LIV's decision to bring somebody onto the LIV Golf League who was 12 years out of the game and hadn't touched a golf club, do you think he took that a bit personally, that he kind of felt like people are almost judging me for being here? I haven't earned my right to be here.
Definitely.
And that was probably why I took some of our comments to heart, because I felt like he has taken a lot of criticism online to heart, which I understand. It's hard. You know better than anybody on social media. Criticism's uncalled for and unnecessary. But I definitely felt this feeling that he took it quite personally. And I think that's because, I might be wrong, that he didn't feel probably in himself like he'd earned the right. Whereas actually this year, he's earned the right by qualification to be there. Nobody can say otherwise. And not only that, he's gone out and won an event. That must make him feel very different.
The best thing that's happened to Anthony Kim in the last few years is he got relegated last year. I think that's the best thing that happened to Anthony Kim, because it got taken away from him. Regardless of whether he felt like he deserved to be there or not, it suddenly got taken away from him. And as I said, the most remarkable thing that's happened is from August to January, he's changed. He's a changed person. Where I think other guys on LIV use that opportunity, as they rightly should do, to take a bit of downtime, to relax, to chill, to have some time with family. He worked his socks off, and he has enlisted help from what's his actual name? Matt Killen, who is a really popular golf coach. He works with the Corder sisters. He's worked with a few other high-profile players as well. He started working with Matt Killen. He's also been working with a few other guys to help with his golf game. Like, he seems to have taken this off season really to heart. And like you said, I think the best thing that's happened to him was he got relegated and was like, I want to earn my spot back on this tour. And now, like, I bet he's walking around these last few weeks, and you've seen it from players' reactions. Like, the players have loved the fact he's got back into it. He deserves to be there. He deserves to be there now.
Well, again, going back to my favourite of Data Golf, which again we think is a bit more accurate than the world rankings, they've actually got him as 172 in the world. So he's 203 on the world golf rankings and 172. So if we take that, he's now the 172nd best player on the planet. That is incredible.
Here's an analogy, and I'm sure we've all been here before. We've been invited to a wedding as a +1 for someone. We've all done it, haven't we? Like, you might have been to your partner's friend's wedding or family members or whatever, and you go as a +1. And you're there, aren't you? You've got a place name, but you don't really, anybody could be that person's +1. Like,
True.
You shouldn't be there in a weird way, should you? Like, you shouldn't be there as a +1. And that feeling is bizarre, isn't it? Because you're there and you're enjoying the free drinks and the champagne and all these other things, but you're deep down thinking, I probably shouldn't really be here. He's not that anymore. Like, he has been properly invited. Not invited.
Not even the night.
He's earned his spot.
He's an usher.
He didn't even get an invite because it was guaranteed he was there.
He's an usher. He's like, well, why didn't I get an invite? Well, you don't need an invite, Anthony.
And how different does that feel?
Yeah.
That feels like a totally different party.
It will be very interesting now to see how he does go on, because that might unlock another level, which I wouldn't be surprised if it does. You know, again, these guys are so competitive. Does it potentially add more pressure to perform? Is he going to have more eyes? I don't know. But what I do believe is this week, obviously, there was huge golf on the PJ Tour, which we'll touch on, Pebble Beach Pro-Am, and obviously there was LIV Golf on. And for me, and I think I said this to you before, kind of off podcast, this feels like to me the probably the biggest week in LIV Golf's life.
I think this is the biggest win that's ever happened. I think this is the biggest tournament that's happened so far in the 4 and a bit years. I really do. There's no other win that stands out as much as this.
No, I mean, the fact, again, I keep going back to this, but the fact that John Rahm and Bryson were up there and competitive, and they are the two poster boys of LIV, and then you throw a Tyrrell Hatton in the mix as well, who's one of the best players on the planet, it really does showcase how good of a win it was.
I think it's a perfect storm. LIV Golf Adelaide is the highest attended LIV Golf event. There's rumours that South Africa this year is going to be even bigger, which I'm super excited for. But LIV Golf Adelaide is the flagship event. It's the one that the players look forward to the most. It's a beautiful golf course. The fans absolutely love it like you can't believe. And when you see scenes like that on the 18th hole, where again, the fans were literally climbing over ropes and you know, Anthony Kim had to push his way through the crowd to get down the fairway. It really just showcases how big an event it is. And it wasn't in one of the quieter districts. There are quieter events on the circuit. It's their flagship event, and he has won it, which is getting so many storylines. For me, it is the single biggest win that LIV Golf has had when they probably needed it the most after somewhat disappointing world ranking points. I know the top 10 get points now, but I think they were looking for a point where every player in the field got some level of world ranking points. How much did Anthony Kim go up? 600 places?
Yeah.
I mean, that's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's for me, it's a perfect storm. And the bit that excites me the most with Anthony Kim, it's almost like he remembered what it was like again. It was almost like when you saw him coming down that stretch, and I loved how animated he was. And I loved the fist pumps, and I loved the excitement, and I loved the way he played golf. Like, it was exciting to watch. I've watched the highlights from start to finish. It was exciting. He could have made a double at any time, but he made birdies everywhere. Well, it was phenomenal.
It reminds you, even though I can't fully remember it that well, even though, you know, in the grand scheme, things wasn't that long ago, but it was now 12 years or so when he was last playing competitively. That's why he was so well known, because he was this talent. He was young. He was competitive. He dressed in a certain way. He was cool. That's why there was such a demand to get him back into the game of golf.
15 years ago, effectively.
Just speaking about LIV Golf in Adelaide, we've actually had an email titled "My Experience with Rick." It's from somebody called Aniket, I think is how you pronounce it. It says, "Hi, Rick and Guy. My name is Aniket. You can share my name.
This is where I'm saying I've not drank for 590 days.
Well, it does say, I want to share my experience meeting Rick. I can proudly say I am a member of the clubhouse and someone who started his golf journey learning from Rick. So straight away I'm thinking, this person loves the podcast, started playing golf because of you, and then they've met you. So this is either going one way or the other. They're going to say you were great or you're an absolute top spot.
I'm actually genuinely nervous.
I'm a 5 handicap.
Because it can go either way.
Of course it can. I'm still going to reel you in. I'm a 5 handicap who's a member of Grange Golf Club where LIV is hosted.
Very nice.
I met Rick yesterday. This is a bit old now, but Saturday, 7th of Feb, 2025. Very specific. He's actually put that in the email.
I was practicing that day.
While he was putting on the green.
Is it one of the lads I had a putting comp with?
Allow me to continue. I asked Rick for a picture, which he very politely agreed to, and a couple of kids asked Rick for a putting comp, to which he said no and slapped one of them in the teeth. Putting comp, which Rick also agreed to and entertain these kids. Rick had no reason to do that, but it was an amazing gesture which will ensure I remain a subscriber for life. Thanks for everything you do. It's amazing. Keep it up.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was doing some practice on the Saturday at the Grange because I was playing the next day, and yeah, no, the couple of lads. So it wasn't from the 2 lads. No, it was someone who watched. Oh, that's nice. By the way, I beat the two lads quite comfortably.
Show them.
Made them cry.
Well, the other...
That's what he didn't include. Later, the kids were crying because I beat them.
And then he stole the money off them. No, the other event this week we obviously have to touch on was the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. What a golf course. It's certainly on, I think, most
Boring.
people's... Oh, God. And if it's Anthony McKibbin, doesn't want to know.
Boring. No, I did actually watch.
It was
quite a bit
incredible.
Last night.
It was a great event. Obviously, the big thing for me. Here I'm going to say this now. I don't watch as much golf as I should. It's no secret.
You have said this a lot.
I've said this a hell of a lot. However, I will watch golf when there's something on the line. Although I didn't watch Anthony Kim live because of the time difference, I got so engrossed in it afterwards because it was so monumental. It meant so much to see him winning. And same with the four majors, you know it's going to change somebody's life. They're going to add another one to the tally, i.e. Scotty Scheffler, or they're going to get their first ever chance at their hands on a major championship, and it means so much. But I also love it when there's loads of names up there. That, you know, to see golf at its best, and I think to be fair to the PGA Tour this weekend, they had an absolute bucket load of great names up there. It was obviously won in the end by Colin Morikawa with a 22 under par, 4 rounds of golf. So that's 69, 68.
Not quite 23 under, was it?
69, 68, 62, 67. So an incredible tournament. But then, you know, looking down the leaderboard at the names that you had who were competing, you had Minwoo Lee, friend of the channel, been on videos many moons ago, Sepp Straka, Scotty Scheffler, who, I mean, just Scotty Scheffler's got this thing at the moment of having a rubbish first round by his standards and then just going on and almost winning anyway. 72, 66, 67, 63.
Hasn't he had 18 top 10s in a row?
I think, yeah, it was 17 or 18, you're right. And I mean, that is just incredible. Top 10s in a row. He's just on another planet. Tommy Fleetwood, Sam Burns, Akshay Bhatia, I always get that wrong, but he kind of thought he was going to win it. He kind of gave it away at the end. Hit Satsuni, he's having some great form. But the list goes on. Like, you know, on Rory down at tied 14. Some great names. It was it's that thing again, though, isn't it, now, where you start to look at the kind of leaderboards of things like the AT&T. You're looking at LIV with Bryson and John Rahm doing well, and it goes without saying, but it really starts you kind of licking your lips ready for the Masters, because it feels like golf at the moment. Just there's so many guys. I say this all the time, I know, but there's so many guys who could win the Masters.
It can't come soon enough.
It can't come soon enough. I'm very, very excited for it. But yeah, great tournament. It's nice to see Colin Morikawa getting the W. Great player.
However, this year at the Masters,
yeah,
might be an asterisk against the winner
because AK's not there.
If AK's not playing, huge asterisk.
I'll tell you who will be
at
at the Masters this year, though. A young Irish man, not Rory McIlroy, but about 15 years his junior, Thomas McKibbin.
Tommy McKibbin.
Who
He'd actually suit Tommy, wouldn't he?
It would suit Tommy, yeah. We have just released a video last week where you played some golf with young Tom McKibbin. It was night golf at LIV Golf Saudi. And what an incredibly humble young guy he is. I'd recommend anyone who's not watched it to go and give it a watch, because Tom is going to be a superstar of the future. He's already an amazing talent. But what a lovely kind of down-to-earth lad. This year he's playing, is it all 4 major championships you're going to be in? First time at the Masters, which is obviously such an exciting experience for him. But very excited to see how he does. And what did you learn from his game?
I learned 2 things.
He's good.
He's
better than you.
I learned 2 things. I feel like an old man.
Yeah.
He has tremendous speed for such a not a frail frame, but such a slender frame. He has tremendous speed.
You know what I've noticed, though, with those kind of frames? Again, Akshay Bhatia is the same. There's that kind of thin build that is fast, but there's also thin that's not fast, if that makes sense.
If you think about it, someone like Will Zalatoris or Joaquin Neiman or Marco Peng is the one that always gets me. Like, he doesn't look ripped, does he?
He's got ripped legs, in fairness, but he does wear tight pants. I think.
But, like, you know, they're not overly upper body strong, but they.
Speed, isn't it?
Rory's not big at all.
He's not a big fella, is he? He's quite short as well.
And even Scotty, like, Scotty's not a musclehead, is he?
No.
But he gets it out there. I mean, it's unbelievable. So that was the one thing I learned from him. I also learned that he's a really, really nice kid. And he wants to prove himself and not just be known as the kid that was born from the same town as Rory McIlroy and played at the same golf club. Like, he wants to become his own man. He wants to stand up for his own rights, and he has strong and passionate opinions and feelings, and he wants to prove that. So I'm excited to see his future. He is one of the most talented drivers of the golf ball I've played with. Everything
It
like
looks
it was
he
on
smokes
a
it.
really, really, really piece of string. And his putting was excellent as well. So I think if he blends everything together, you know, like you said, you could look at the full entry list or invite list of the Masters, and you can make a case study for anybody, pretty much 99% of the field winning, couldn't you? And he's just another name in that list that could comfortably win multiple majors over the next decade.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's so... What kind of still fascinates me with the game of golf and all sport, but certainly golf, it's obviously a game we play, is that percentage difference gets that next level. So obviously we filmed with Min Woo Lee, who just mentioned a long time ago now. I'm going to guess 2021, I think it was roughly, at St Andrews. And at the time, he was a relatively unknown name. So this is the average kind of household golfer who just watches occasionally. And, you know, we filmed with him. And I remember... for about a year or so after that, before I think he won the Scottish Open, when people would ask us who's one of the best golfers you've seen in the flesh, and obviously we've been so lucky to film with so many great players, and you've done even more since then, obviously, but he was always a name that came straight up, Min Woo Lee.
He's still the most impressive golfer
It was
I've played
unbelievable. The
with.
speed that hits the golf ball at and what he was doing with the golf ball was just unbelievable.
Yeah, he is. If someone asked me right now who's the most impressive, I still probably do say Min Woo Lee.
And he's gone on to now great success, obviously on the PGA Tour, and becoming very well established and a very well established name on the PGA Tour. But yet you also get so many other guys who maybe don't hit it quite as well as him, but do have great all-around games who don't get to that next level. And not quite comparing, but even like a Brad Dalke, who's obviously plays in, well, he's part of Good. He obviously played in the Masters as an amateur, was it 2017 or whatever it was? And obviously he's not made it, although he's done very well in other walks of life with YouTube and stuff. But you think that difference, it's kind of minor, but it's also... cumulatively, it's huge, isn't it? That difference to get into that level. It's like Tom McKibbin. I mean, he's already won once on the DP World Tour, and he won the Hong Kong Open on the International Series. So he's got, you know, wins under his belt. His career, we could be sat here in 5-10 years' time, and he could have majors under his belt. I would not be surprised if he does, but also he might not. And it's just that thing of how do these players keep getting better and keep staying competitive? It's so hard because they all want to win, obviously.
I've got some good news for you, Guy.
Go on.
Some really good news. We have entered the Creator Golf Club together.
We have.
You are my partner.
You wanted
for the
to brand
Creator
it.
Golf Club.
Yes.
And guys, if you have not entered yet, there is still time. I will put a link in the top line of the description. This is the amateur golf event, and pros can still play in it as long as they're with
that's why I'm playing.
an amateur partner. We're looking at doing it fairly global. If you go onto Creator Golf Club website, link in top line description, you can sign up now. You need to find a partner. There'll be regional events. The first round, and this is my only worry, my first round is the 27th of April. I'll come on to why it's my worry in a minute. I am here. But that's just, it doesn't have to be on that date. That's when the first rounds start. There'll be a certain amount of rounds in your region. Then you go to a regional final, national final, global final, all expenses paid. Amazing, amazing venue somewhere around the world. Let me tell you why it's good news.
Mm-hmm.
I think this year, 2026, and I believe this emphatically, I am playing the best golf of my life.
Wow.
You didn't see that? Okay, excited. I am hitting the golf ball the best I have ever hit it.
Let me tell you why I'm not so excited, because that...
You've watched the videos.
That leads me to think that you're going to set your expectations at a different level.
No, let me tell you something. Right now, I'm hitting it the best I've ever hit it. This is what's exciting.
Okay.
I'm scoring like a blind man at the moment.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'm scoring terribly at the moment.
Okay.
So I just know it's a matter of time until my scores reflect the way I'm playing.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Is that the good news for me?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like you've heard that Paige Brannock fancies me or something.
Oh, no, that was a given.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough. No, that is good news for me. The bad news for you is I haven't hit a golf ball for a while. I'm going to be absolutely crap.
You said you're injured, aren't you?
Yeah, I've injured my back. No, but I think match play.
I think
why can't you? What's this issue with the end of April, though? Why are you already creating issues around it?
Because I'm playing really good now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
And I don't. My hope and my prayers
last by then.
is it'll continue and get better.
It won't. It'll go downhill then back again.
Okay,
that's what'll happen.
Okay, I'm excited. Well, I honestly think I'm playing some of the greatest golf of my life.
It's funny you mentioned that because Tom Marty Jr. asked on the Facebook page, realistically, how far do you and Rick think you would get in a Creator Golf Club if you had to enter like everybody else? Well, we are entering like everybody else. So we will get through round 1 and 2.
People aren't going to have a chance against us.
Think how nervous they'll be when they rock up to the first team they're playing against Guy Charnock.
When we've got, we'll bring a 7-man camera crew.
Yeah, we will.
We'll go and play at JCB off the back tees.
Or maybe you could just pay them to lose.
Oh.
Take a load of fat wad of cash. If you want to lose, well, not really want to win. But what, 10 grand? Yeah, okay, we'll lose. Then we just get through every round. Then we get a free holiday. So you spend 10 grand per match. Probably how many matches are there?
70 grand?
70 grand, then we get a free holiday. That makes perfect sense. No, I'm excited. I think it's going to give me incentive to play a bit more golf because this time of year...
You do need to play a bit more.
Yeah, but this time of year, it's just not... Golf for me isn't something that I want to play this time of year.
Well, the good thing is the weather is so... brilliant. I can't even say it. The weather is
Come on. What are you trying to say?
Awful in the UK at the moment.
It is horrendous.
I'm trying to say positive, but it is horrendous in the UK at the moment. Did I read the other day? It has literally rained every single day in the year 2026.
No way.
Apparently it's rained every single day.
Wow.
So, you know what I think we need? This is what I'll treat you to.
Okay.
If you're up for it. Why don't just you and me go and do a boot camp?
Oh, yes.
A little 6-7 day trip away. Somewhere nice and hot. Let's go to Dubai for a week.
Dubai be nice.
Just do a little boot camp.
Yeah.
You can have a bit of rest. Now you've got a 3-month-old baby boy.
Yeah.
I'm sure your wife.
She wasn't bothered. She doesn't work anyway at the minute. She's off for a year.
Just say it's work. Oh, yeah. Rick's dragging me to Dubai.
Yeah.
Let's just go and boot camp it. Let's go and spend.
Would we eat really healthy or really bad?
Eat really well. I mean, neither of us, I don't drink and you hardly drink. So, I mean, it'd be boring as hell, but let's just go and grind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bit of sunshine.
The problem is that you'd go, Guy, wake up. It's time to go and practice and hit balls. And I go, oh, I'm not feeling very well. He'd walk into my room. He'd go, what's going on, Guy?
What's going on here?
There'd be 25 empty cans of Monster on the floor. And I'm like, I've had a relapse.
I'm up for it. I'd be keen. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
We're done. How long have we been? It probably is about right. It just feels...
41.
Oh, yeah. It's a short.
We spoke for 50 minutes.
It's a short about Anthony Kim. Well, that's fair. But
I'm happy to talk more about Anthony Kim if you want.
You said you're not listening to the Friday Clubhouse Pro Shop episodes.
I've read the comments.
So you didn't know what that, did you?
The Pro Shop. I didn't. I kind of understood. I kind of guessed it.
I guessed it. It doesn't take a genius, does it? Everyone, this is the main podcast. This will always be the main podcast. It's called the Rick Shiels Golf Show. With
people might just prefer the you and Ben one.
I think I do. I'm joking. What we do on a Friday one though is we absolutely slag off Anthony Kim. So it's kind of like a bit of vendetta against Anthony Kim. So for every time you say his name in a positive light, we say it in a negative light. I only joke Anthony Kim. Actually, what we can just touch on very quickly was. This is a bit more of nerdy stuff, but we'll do this now to give people a little insight into what we do on a Friday.
Tell me why I should listen to the Hit podcast.
Because with podcasts, I personally love to consume them, whether it be in the car, on a walk, at the gym. It's just something nice. Even going to sleep, sometimes nice to have. Now, for me, if we do
is this what the Hit podcast is good for, falling asleep to?
Very good, yes. If you get in the car on a Tuesday morning and you've got your Rick Shiels Golf Show podcast, great.
I'm slightly jealous of the Hit podcast.
You can be on it, it's your podcast. You just always go to bloody gallivant. Oh, Anthony Kim. Right, if you listen to the podcast on a Tuesday night comes, it's gone. It's done. You've done it. You've had it. It's gone. Forget about it till next week. But then Friday comes, you go, oh, another little banger. Might only be half an hour. Just a little treat gets in the weekend. You don't have to listen to it. I won't be offended if you don't.
This one was an hour. It wasn't a little one.
Exactly.
What did you talk about?
Well, we just slagged some stuff off for quite a while. We have a new section called Guy Hates This. And we talk about stuff that we hate. So I talk about, I hate how Rick always says he's playing so well at golf.
I need to listen to this.
And we'd say, have you heard about Rick's picked up speed? Oh, no, has he? Yeah, he's picked up some speed.
By the way.
That's what we talk about. And Ed gets absolutely destroyed.
I was going to say he was with me.
Exactly. He gets destroyed. We slag him off like nothing.
Question for you. What was your inventions that you created?
So I created, you'd like this, you inspired me, a mini driver, but with like 7 wood loft. So it's designed to be a fairway wood with a huge head.
I like that.
Really forgiving. Ben invented what's called a Franken bag. It's like Frankenstein. That was basically one golf club that could do everything. It was stupid. It was rubbish.
Is that not already out?
Yeah, basically, I won the poll. But one thing we do on the podcast, which is quite nerdy, you'll hate this, Rick, is we talk about what's in the bags of recent winners. However, when I say to you now, I'm going to talk to you through the golf bag of Anthony Kim, that's going to get you going.
So can we record this? Wait, can I come on it this week?
Absolutely. I was going to say come on it if you like, but that sounds a bit stupid. So, but you can come on the podcast whenever you like. So do you want to say to Anthony Kim what's in the bag then for the podcast?
Yeah, I'm going to save it for Friday.
Okay, we'll save it for Friday. Yeah, it's interesting what's in the bag, to be fair. Mixture of brands. We did have a big discussion last week, why it went on for so long, about the pros and cons of being with a brand. I can tell I'm boring you as I speak.
No, I'm fully engaged. I'm looking at you like...
Tell me more. It's just basically, you wouldn't understand it. It's just a couple of mates
I feel
just
like you're a
chilling
bit
out.
embarrassed about it at the moment. Is Ben doing all right?
I feel like... let me try and think of an example of how I feel. I feel like I've...
It's like a secret club and you're a bit embarrassed about it.
I am a little bit. It's like you found out that at the weekends I'm into reenacting battle scenes. And I'm like, oh, well, I go once a week and normally do the Norman Conquest.
I must admit...
I like Warhammer. Shoot me.
I don't quite get that stuff.
What? Reenactments?
Warhammer and all that stuff.
It's just a way to just chill out after a long, stressful day at work. Talking about golf, that you have to pretend you like, get your orcs and your zoids or whatever. That sounds like it would be a zoid. What's that? That's nothing, but it could sound like it would be part of it.
Oh my God, I feel like you know a lot about this.
I don't. But when Ben sits in your seat as well.
I did notice.
Yeah, he does sit in your seat.
The microphone was higher.
Yeah.
But the seat was lower.
Yeah.
So he's considerably
And then as well,
taller.
you know, like... when you watch like a movie and there's like high school bullies and there's like the top bully who's dead hard, and then when they go, the next one in command acts dead hard and so forth. When you're not
like
here, I talk to Ben like shit, like really bad. So I'm really cocky. I'm like, welcome back to Rick Shiels Golf Show, episode 321. I'm your host, Guy Charnock. It's a bit weird, and then like Ben's there, and I'm like, come on, like acting differently. And then I get, I don't know why I started doing it. I started hiring a car on the day that we record it, and I started hiring this really like, it's not a particularly new Bentley, but it is a Bentley. It's a 59 plate. It's quite old, but it's great condition. So I drive that in on those days.
Right.
And then order sushi for lunch. I just get a bit weird with it all. But so far it's doing well, yeah. It's helping us climb up the Apple podcast charts once again, which is where we need to be. So if you've enjoyed it, rate it on Apple. And if you've not, don't tell Rick. Just pretend you like it.
Perfect.
You can come on Friday.
I'll come on.
Always like hat on backwards. I'll be really chilled. But yeah, you don't want to be there.
What's the topic this Friday?
The topic this Friday is well, we can't do the Warhammer stuff, can we? That's not going to work. We can't talk about history stuff anymore.
We can't slag you off, Rick.
We'll talk about Anthony Kim's what's in the bag. We'll just see where it takes us.
I'm on. Guys, thanks for listening. I'll see you Friday. I'm looking forward to showing up on the Hit podcast.
You're going to come out one of these celebrities that doesn't want to be there in an interview, like just giving one word answers and stuff. Dead cocky. And me and Ben are trying to make content. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
It's not my podcast. I don't care. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all very soon. And lastly, well done, AK. Great win. Great win. Love you.